we doing? How are we doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever, from wherever you are. Welcome to this new masterclass, the last one of the year, to wrap up all the work we've done with a lot of love for all of you. We're entering the final part, and always delivering for you, doing the things you like, which you always ask me about, while having you here so that you can get the most out of it. So I want to take a moment to congratulate you first, because we are already reaching the final part of the year. Second, I wish you a happy holiday season, as these are times of family unity. I hope you are enjoying them and having a good time. And well, we had to be here with you before the year ends to do our final activity. In fact, I want to tell you that we are planning something that we have never done before. And it's a business networking event. And it's going to be now, I think, this very week. We'll confirm that for you soon. But we're putting together a quick meeting for you. It's going to be on Zoom. It won't be here on YouTube. In which I want us to make a toast together, a business toast. So we're going to do some networking. There will be business people from different parts of the world with whom we will share. And we will simply give thanks for everything that has happened this year. I would really like to have you all there because it will be very worthwhile. So we will keep you informed through the WhatsApp community we have, so that you can stay updated and join us doing a little networking and making a toast as well. One important thing we're going to address in this session is that each of you will be able to share what has been the most challenging for you this year. I want to know what has been the most challenging for you on a business level, not necessarily just related to Bitrix, and rather what is your biggest achievement. And we are going to help each other. So for those who want to give you feedback or an opinion or a recommendation, for example, let's say that what you found most challenging was, I'm just making this up, the sales part. You had some issues with your sales team. Any other business person from another country who has already solved that problem and wants to share it with you will be able to do it. That's why it's going to be called the first business networking event. And a toast that we are also going to make. I want to see all of you. So to start, I'm already letting you know this event, okay? Second, I want to greet you all. I want to see which cities you all are connected from. I see Rocio from Buenos Aires, Argentina. To Rocio from Buenos Aires, Argentina, welcome, Rocio. Fernando is also joining us from Paraguay, Asunción, welcome. Carlos is joining us from Lima, Peru. We are also joined by someone from Piura. Here it is. Fernando, excellent, welcome as well. Let me check over here in the other tab that I see. I see you here, Alex. Welcome, Alex, as always, active and present. From Cusco, Peru, one of the wonders of the world. There he is, Alex is present. There's Fabio, who is always the constant presence. Fabio, if there were a better student, it would be Fabio. There he is, also present, showing his face. From Chile, we are joined by Huart T Consultants. Welcome. Here our friend says, this year Chile has been slower than usual. Sales dropped a lot. So now let's get ready to return to the battle. Well, it's going to be really nice to have you join us for this business networking event we're going to have at the end of the year. Because what is happening right now in Chile has already happened in Ecuador, in Colombia, in Peru, and it's going to be important for business people who have already gone through that, because Chile was on a winning streak, right? Everything was going well, the economy was doing great, and now it was starting to wobble a bit. On the other hand, there are economies that are really hit hard, like Ecuador's, which barely rises before something else hits it, like in Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, so it's going to be important. What do the business people from these countries say about the same issues? So don't miss it, it's going to be good. So we're waiting for you. Natalie is going to be there too. Natalie from Mexico City. Excellent, Natalie. Welcome. Here's Raul, but he doesn't tell us where he's from. Maximiliano from Montevideo, Uruguay. Here's Montevideo representing. Very good, Maximiliano. Javier Ruiz from Chihuahua, Mexico. Raul Vega from Cusco, Peru as well. From Venezuela, Gustavo Quintero. Here's Gustavo. Here is QWERTY Consultores. Ah, perfect, Gonzalo. Well, that's great. So thank you all for connecting to the last masterclass of the year. And as you know, in our masterclasses, we like to provide gold from dust for your businesses. And this one is not going to be the exception. And we're going to talk about something that is becoming more and more. It's becoming necessary and it's becoming easier. I was looking at an analysis of the banking situation in the countries, how more and more people are getting banked and more transactions are being made. And the curious thing is that more and more, the card payment index is on the rise, right? And now comes another indicator that is no longer the card payment index. Now it's the digital payment index, like there is, for example, Mercado Pago, like Yapi in Peru, Diuna, in Ecuador, Neki, which isn't even a card anymore. It's a digital payment as such. And it's definitely on the rise, and that's why we need to keep on our radar in our companies. One, how we are getting more and more involved in these aspects, and we're understanding them. And we're also getting involved, for example, every year. We are making more payments in cryptocurrencies. So we carry an indicator. At first, we didn't pay anything in cryptocurrencies. It seemed like a strange world to us. And nowadays, we use it, you see. So look at how our use of cryptocurrencies is increasing year by year, just like all these indicators. So why am I telling you this? Because I still find myself with many companies that suddenly say, no, I don't want to get involved with card payments. I prefer to pay only in cash. I don't want to get involved with card issues. I prefer to pay only in cash, collect only in cash because the card charges me fees. Let's see, just a moment. It's just that you can't be thinking about how things were thought of in business before. For example, charging with a credit card. While it's true that it charges you a percentage, but it reduces your collection costs. And the collection cost, the one where you have a person who collects and collects and collects, is a cost that in many cases is even higher than the card's commission fee. So add that to the ones who don't end up paying you and things like that, which you know better than we do. So it's very important that, let's see, because we're going to talk about what Bitrix already has. And if any of you say, no, Luis, I want the payment gateway that exists in my country, and well, I'm going to outline the steps to follow. Okay, so as the dermatologist said, let's get to the point. Let's see, first, I want you to understand that Bitrix offers several integrations with payment and collection platforms. There are several options. Okay, you can go to the market, and in the market, you go to where it says payment systems. And you'll see all the ones that Bitrix has. In fact, there are quite a few. What happens is that, keep in mind that Bitrix is a global platform. So there are some payment gateways used in Russia, others in Asia, others in Europe, others in Africa, others in South America, others in North America, and others in Central America. So what happens? Just imagine the number of payment gateways there are. However, well, it doesn't get complicated. Bitrix doesn't complicate things and says, okay, I'm going to give you the integrations with the main ones. And if you want a specific integration, you'll have to develop it yourself and connect to that company. So among the main ones that are already available, which are used here in Latin America, that are well known and are growing a lot in Latin America, there are these four as such. Payment market, which is Argentina. The owners of Mercado Libre created their payment gateway. Nowadays, they operate and are very big in Mexico. They operate and are very big in Colombia, in Peru, and obviously in Argentina as well. So it's a very good alternative. The integration with Bitrix is already done. You don't have to pay anything to make the integration, and it works very well. This Stripe, which I would dare to say is, in terms of payment gateways, are the number one in the world. In the world, okay, that's Stripe's strong point. I might even believe that it's more robust than PayPal itself. Watch out for that. It's more robust than PayPal. Okay, but it does have some requirements that you need to meet. I'm going to tell you how we've been meeting them to be able to use Stripe, and it has helped us a lot to increase sales, right? Because especially for those of us who sell to several countries, sometimes it's a problem. No, I can't pay with a card because my card isn't being accepted. It's just that this doesn't pay me, it doesn't pay me. I would say that Stripe is the most universal platform, so to speak, because it's the one we have the least problems with when it comes to card payments. It practically accepts all cards. It has subscriptions. It's really a beauty. Anyone who knows how to use it finds it amazing. It's the one we have the least problems with when it comes to card payments, because it practically accepts all cards. It has subscriptions. It's really a beauty. Anyone who knows how to use it finds it amazing. PayPal, which has started to grow a lot in Latin America. For example, PayPal used to not allow bringing money to Ecuador. And starting from the beginning of this year, or maybe last year, I don't remember exactly, it allowed it, and at very low costs, because there's a very important factor here. It's the cost of the commission. How much does that payment gateway charge you to collect the money? Okay, so PayPal, I know they started doing it in some countries in Latin America, and now you can withdraw the money and they deposit it into your own account. It's a beauty, and it's not that expensive, huh? We're talking about, they charge us for every $5,000 to deposit into our PayPal account. In our account in Ecuador, they charge us $20. It doesn't seem expensive to me to bring in the money, but you have a limit of up to $10,000 a month, which is the downside. Well, if you want to bring in more money sometimes, then you have to meet other requirements. Well, let's talk about PayPal too. And it's strong in countries like Peru and Colombia. I think it's also in Chile, Argentina, and I believe it's in Mexico too, but I'm not sure. Well, in Colombia, for example, PayPal is a monster, right? And well, the integration with Bitrix. All right, these are the ones that are well known and widely used in Latin America. Luis, it's just that I have Payphone, I have DataFast, I have Cookie, I have another one. Well, it's not there. It's your turn to do the integration. Okay, and that has a cost, obviously. Luis, how much does it cost? It depends. But between $8,000 to $12,000, you have to assess whether it's worth it to do an integration of that magnitude as such. Maybe not. Wait for the company to do it or wait for you to do it. That it's worth it to do it. And if not, manage it alongside, right? No problem at all. All right, so how do the integration processes work? And why is it nice to have this ability to charge with a card here? Because if you notice, there's a little blue button that you can see right there in the middle. The ability to charge with a card here. Because if you notice, there's a little blue button that you can see right there in the middle. Right to the right of the $4,000, it says receive a payment. That's a feature that Bitrix didn't have before. They enabled it so that we can generate a payment link just by clicking the button. Selecting the products, and it creates a payment link that when the customer opens it, they see a summary like this, and the customer can choose how they want to pay. Once they select the payment, notice how it shows up in Bitrix. Here, it automatically shows that step has already been completed. All right, there it is. So I'm going to show you how it works in real time to clear up any questions you might have about it. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Can you confirm that you can see it all now? I'm going to open it up for you here. I'm going to put it in full screen. Better, easier. Okay, there we are. Well then, I'm going to log into my Bitrix. Look, here I am in my Bitrix. Excellent. In Bitrix, notice how first you can go here where it says sales center. And here you can set up the different payment systems as such. Okay. Here you have the different payment systems. I already told you, Stripe is one of the most used. There's another one called Skrill that you can also use, but I mainly recommend PayPal. Stripe. If you're in Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, or Peru, you can use Mercado Pago. And those are the ones we're going to talk about, right? So for you to do for the setup, for this, you need to download the Dash app and enter the API. Luis, what is that API? The API is a code, okay? That any payment gateway that allows you gives you that code and you can use it. For example, look, here it is. I have my Stripe account here, look, and all the charges show up here that I've been having. You see, all the charges are there and you can use them. So the API key, you can generally find any API in the settings. There's always a section for developers where you can find it. Look, in this case, I can put the API key there and I can use it. They use, and they keep you updated on everything. So for this to work well, let's say you have a negotiation, for example. So look here, I have a negotiation with myself. Very well. So this negotiation that I have, there it is. Let's say I want to generate a payment link. Is this the one you see here? I'm going to delete it and create another one. So look, I select to receive a payment, and here the system asks me, what do you want to receive the payment for? So I say for this rent. Here I select the data and click send. So the system automatically generates the link for me. This one you see here, which I can send to my client, even automatically. And he will see something like this, which I can send to my client, even automatically. And he will see something like this. Do you see? So here the person has to actually, I'm going to send you the link so you can see it. Look, I'm sending it to you through the chat from YouTube. So what the client has to do is simply to say, decide how you want to pay, if you're going to pay with a credit card, as soon as the person selects the payment method they want. The payment option will appear, and that's it. Here, it seems like it didn't let me because I'm in the same browser, but let me open it in another one. Let's see if it lets me. So notice how the person just clicks to make the payment. Well, and it already shows up for you so that you can make the payment. In this case, how much do I want to pay? $2,000. And I hit continue, and that's it. So once you've made the payments, first look at how the system recognizes that you've clicked on the payment link. And once the person makes the payment, it will show up here as paid. Okay, Luis, but wait, explain this to me. I mean, if the person here paid $40, but for example, let's suppose that the negotiation actually, I'm going to change it here. Look, it was $80. So that's something really nice because here you can keep track of what the person is paying or not. For example, I put it here, what the person is paying or not. For example, I put it here, actions, paid. And look, I can generate the payment link again. And I put here that is equivalent to 40. And look, how can I also mark it as paid? And it's being recorded here in the system as such. So that's very important because, oh, it's just that I haven't put it here. Let's see. Look, I'm going to add another one. I'm going to put here collection, for example. Very good. So I put a value here. I click save. And look, when I register it as paid, look how it's deducting the amount from me. And it tells me that we only owe $40 now. What about the $80? Here are 3 payment links that weren't paid. This one wasn't paid. This one wasn't paid. And this one here was paid. So his debt is only, let's assume he makes another payment. It's another payment of $10. Making it look, I'm going to put $10. So let's say I pay this one. And look how it ends up showing automatically how everything is turning out just like that. You see how everything is turning out just like that. You see, so that's the nice thing that works that you have to set up here. You all have to go to each place where it says online store, and in the online store. You need to edit this page that you see here, which says secure payment. Bitrix is the one you can edit so that your logo shows up that they want to happen. When the person enters here, the payment, you notice, is exactly the same as what appears there. As such, you can put your logo, you can put whatever you want so that they can manage it without any problem. Okay? All right. So that's regarding the generation of payment links. The success of this is that you don't have to leave the app to generate a payment link. Just by generating it, you can automatically issue it. And the customer can use it as such. Look, something important. How do all the orders appear here? I mean, if you wanted to handle a collections issue, this type of thing could help you. Look, determined, paid, not paid, all. So you can also manage collections in the CRM. All right. Okay. So in summary, to install it, you have to go to the market. Here you search for the applications. For example, you type in PayPal. Okay. For example, you go to Sales and BM. Payment systems, and here are all the payment systems. Look, okay, here you select the one you want and proceed to get the API key and paste it here. Once you've pasted it, that's it. The process is super simple and they can already start generating the payment links. Now, Luis, I don't understand something. And how did you say to open the account in Stripe? Okay, I'm going to recommend something to you. There's a platform called Privately, where I created the company in the United States. Is it this one here? I did a review of what the different options are. Okay, those who want me to send them a registration link, message me on Instagram. And I'll send you the registration link to Privately and show you directly how it's done. On that platform, they create the company for you in the United States without being in the United States, even without having your US visa. You can have the company just with your local passport. They create it for you. And they help you set up the account in Stripe. Super, super easy. Super easy. And you can already accept payments with all credit cards. Now, keep in mind that having the company in the US, these things, they didn't tell me at the beginning, but it simply costs you the maintenance of the business a year close to $2,000 if your revenue is low. I mean, keep in mind that it's going to cost you $2,000 monthly. Maintaining the business in the United States costs about expenses for an accountant and all that stuff. And in Privately, it's not expensive. It costs you about $250 creating it. So for those who have a high volume of transactions, it can work for them as such that tool to get the payments as such. I'm also going to give you a guide on, I always like to leave you something to take advantage of. Enjoy. I'm going to give you a guide on which ones I recommend. The payment gateways. How do you create accounts for the payment gateways? Both in PayPal, both in Stripe, which is the other one, and Skrill, which is another gateway as well. I'm going to share all three with you here through the link from YouTube. I don't know if there's a miracle, if you could send me the link, and if not, I'll pass it on to you now. I want to know if there are any questions up to this point. Any questions you have about the payment gateways. Now is the right time to clear up any doubts you have about the payment gateways. Let's see. Here are Raul, Gonzalo, Gustavo, Raul, Javier, Maximiliano, Natalie, Alex, Fabio. Let's see, ask all the questions, because now is the time, the last questions of the year. Let's see. Let's see. I'm sharing the link with you so that those who want to download the guide can do so. See, here I have the link. That's it. All right, there it is. Perfect. So for those who want the guide to download it, go ahead. Download it from here, and you'll have these payment gateways to download and use them as such. Let's go with the questions. Our friend Gonzalo says he has a lot of questions. All right, let's get started. Now is the time. Any questions you have, go ahead. Natalie says it looks simple. Yes, it's relatively simple. But once you get the hang of it, you'll manage it. Especially when you're still somewhat new to Bitrix, yes, it can be difficult to understand a bit about how to use and manage it. Natalie asks, she says, the form that much, it can be customized. Okay, I sent you the link. I think you're referring to the form I shared with you here. Okay, this form that I shared with you here, which is the one for negotiations. It can't be customized. It's important for you to know that it's just, here's the negotiation link directly with the amount, and it just asks for a bit more information. The payment details you see, okay, and that's it. So that's something you should keep in mind. And the good thing is that if Bitrix recognizes it, who is it? And based on that, it links it automatically. But it's not like you can customize all the questions you want as such. Okay, Alejandra asked a question. She says, is it possible to send an invoice with the payment link or the button to pay the invoice? It's great to see you, Alejandra. Let's see. I understand that you're referring to a document where I click a button in the document and the person can pay. That can't be done with Bitrix. Okay? No, I would have to send you the link. Well, let's see, thinking it over. I could embed a link in a document that I send you, and there you would click, and it would be a unique payment link. Now, if you tell me, no, Luis, it's just that I only have 3 payment links. It's not that the values vary. You could customize the document in a template. With that specific link, they would pay and would have to click to go there. Those are options that come to mind right now that might be useful for you. All right. Here is Gonzalo. He says, where do you customize the payment form? Well, I mentioned that it's not really customized as such, just so you know. He says, should you always include the products in the payment link, or do you take them out of the negotiation? Excellent. It takes them out of the negotiation automatically. When you create them in the negotiation, the payment link that you see will grab them. But let's say you then generate another payment link. What Bitrix is going to do is it's going to leave it blank, and you would have to do it in the same negotiation. Why? The first time you generate it, it grabs the products you have in the negotiation. But in the second one, it doesn't. It leaves it blank, and you can start customizing it. Okay. All right, here it says, the truth is that Gustavo has had several questions. There it is. Well, it says here, where do you enable the tab orders in the negotiations? Well, That's in the configuration of the CRM as such. Let's see, I'm going to show you here. Keep in mind that in the upper left part, you can go configuring in the CRM. What do you want? Do you see? So for example, here you have different modules. There's the sales center. Do you see? So in the sales center is where you can enable the payment systems as such. Here you can set up all the payment systems you want. All right. Very good. So pay attention to that. Let's go with more questions you have. It says, thank you, says Alejandra. Well then, how does the closed negotiations report affect the total amount of the negotiation if it reduces the payment? If it reduces the pested payment, it affects the total amount of the negotiation. That's a very good question. Let's see. Indeed. Keep in mind that it reduces you. The value of the negotiation has to be complete based on what you are negotiating. And below, when you are recording the payment, it will show you the difference. So if the negotiation is for 2,000, and for example, you made, I'm just making this up, a payment of $500. What Bitrix does is calculate the difference. And it says, it was 2,000, paid 500, now they owe you a 500, but the negotiation is still for 2,000. So in metrics, you can do the calculations with regular sales, no problem. Do the calculations with regular sales, no problem. Luis, but and Bitrix can help me calculate how much I have to collect. Not that, because that's what an ERP does. All right. It says the screen is back. From the payment method, it only says invoice paid. Is it possible to customize it to provide an example, an invoice? Yes, of course. Yes, you can. You can generate that through automations. What do you want to happen after the person has made the payment? Where do you want to send it? It could be to a website, it could be some link, or just that as soon as the payment is completed. For Bitrix to send a WhatsApp to the client with the invoice, or the invoice, as you say. All right, Alejandra has another question. It says, is it possible to generate payment links for a partial payment? An example. The product is 1,000, but I want to issue a partial link for 500 and then generate another one for 500 as such. Okay, very good question, Alejandra. Yes, it can be done. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you here. Let's see. All right. So I'm here in the negotiation, right? I'm here in the negotiation. I'm going to get into a negotiation. Now I have this negotiation here. I'm going to cancel this now. I'm going to delete all of this to start from scratch. Okay, I'm deleting it now. Very good. Ready? I already deleted it. So, what's more, I'm going to delete the negotiation to start everything from scratch. There it is. I already deleted it. I'm creating a quick negotiation. Just let me confirm that you can see me, All right. I'm creating the negotiation. I hit save. Well, in this case, I select these options. I have it here already. In this case, right? So let's see what I'm negotiating here. I'm going to make something up. The Bitrix license. But the person is going to pay me for the year in 2 payments. She's going to pay me 50% first for 12 months. Okay. For example, so I generate the first payment link based on this. Look how I put here to receive a payment. the amount appears automatically for me. And I hit save. But it turns out that later, I generate another one. The other one, 50% payment. I enter it and say that it will also be 50%. The other one is going to be for 12 months, 50% discount. All right. So I put it, save again. And look how here, I can receive the payment. It's just that here I have to register it manually. If you see, then I put 12 months and I want to add the 50% discount. And look how I have here the first payment link and the second payment link. Let's assume that the person has already paid me the first one. All right, they paid it, and it's going to register here in Bitrix that it has been paid. Notice how here it only shows me the debt they have. The negotiation is still at 23988. They have only paid me one invoice, and they owe 1494. Once the person has paid me this second invoice, look how the amount here shows 0. They don't owe me anything anymore. They have paid me everything. And I generated 2 different payment links. Do you see it? Okay, I'm going to check the messages. I think I already answered you, Alejandra. There you confirm for me if I understood you correctly. Yes, I answered you. Here you ask me, you say, is it possible to have payment gateways in English and Spanish? Oh, wow, you're making it tough for me there, huh? How can we set it up for the client to view it in English? That's a good question, Alejandra. I think it can be done, right? Let's see. I don't see it as that difficult. Right now that you mention it, let me think about it here. Because keep in mind that it's like a website. This here, now that you mention it, let me think about it here. Because keep in mind that it's like a website. This right here. So what we need to do is run the test. No, I'm not sure. But what we would need to do, since it's a website, create a page in Spanish and a page in English. Let's put it this way. So that the person, when they select the link, I asked you in Spanish or in English? I'm not sure. Alejandra, I'm not sure about running the test, but I would think that in that way it could work. And that way the person can select the language, or well, there would be the classic translator where you right-click and translate it to Spanish and English. But I don't think that's what you're looking for. So in that way, we would need to run the test. Let's see, I would think so. I'll show you. Look, so you can understand me better. Let's see. I'm going to the online store. I'm going to the online store. This is the link. Since it's a page, I would have to copy this page. This one is going to be in Spanish, and the other one is going to be in English. And I'm going to put some buttons there that I can send it to. Because keep in mind that, let's say it's this. Do you see? I would just have to copy this. This would be the Spanish page. I would have to copy a link here that says the English one, and that sends me from one to the other as such, and that would be all. So when I send the link, notice that it doesn't recognize anything here because I don't have it linked to anything. And that way we could do it. We would need to validate it. We would need to validate it and confirm that it works. Francisco says, we see you loud and clear, my brother. It's great to greet you. Greetings to Paraguay. For Assumption, here is Gustavo, who really is Gustavo. I think all the questions have been noticed. Let's see, it says, question about Mercado Pago. How do you set up the cards you'll use? About what? What's the difference between a person and a company? Okay, I think you're referring to yourself. A person is when you sell to a customer, it's when it's B2C. And a company is when you sell to a B2B. So you can choose whether you're selling to companies or if you're selling to individuals as such. Can the payment links be forwarded? How long do the links last? Excellent question. Permanently. The payment links you generate here don't expire. Because keep in mind that you're not actually generating a direct payment link. You're generating something like an intermediary that sends you the final payment link through the integration gateway you have. Good. So, well, I think those are the questions. I don't want to tire them out. Two final things. As announcements, first, I want to see you at this business networking event we're organizing for you. I want to see you all. We'll let you know through the WhatsApp group. Those who are not in the WhatsApp group yet, join the WhatsApp group so that you stay updated on everything we're doing and ensure you are always in the loop with all the latest updates and developments. In fact, I'm going to put it here. Well, it's not ready yet, but in any case, those who want to join the WhatsApp group, our WhatsApp community, so that you stay informed. And there, we're going to invite you to the business networking event and end of year toast. We're only going to have business people. Requirements. You need to bring a small bottle, a little cup to make a toast. Second, you're going to have to say, what has been your success of 2024? And what has been difficult for you so far? And what will be the challenge for 2025? And among all the business owners from various countries, we're going to give you feedback. There will be 2 or 3 pieces of feedback per person, depending on the total number of people we have. And you're going to be able to there. Listen, right? Feedback from people who have already gone through what you're going through, and based on that, you can see, well, how's it going for you as such? It's going to be good. It's all going to be virtual. Look, here I leave you. For those who haven't joined the WhatsApp community yet, join us. There's the link, join us. And everything, Francisco asks if it will be in person. No, it will be virtual. It will be virtual, so don't get too excited. We're going to do something in person soon. God willing, everything goes well. And we're going to do something in person for you, but for now, it's just going to be digital to make it easier. And that you all are going to sleep 40 minutes, 40, 50 minutes just to talk about the cases. And I'm really looking forward to raising a toast with all of you and celebrate the success of 2024 and for 2025 to be much, much more powerful. So I won't tire you out any longer. Thank you. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. And let's keep going. The year isn't over yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still working hard. We're in days where a lot is still being sold. So let's keep pushing, and we'll see each other. We'll see each other at this last event to say goodbye to 2024 with all of you. God bless you all. We'll see each other next time, and I'll stay on Instagram chatting. For those who want to, I'm chatting a bit over there to wrap things up. A hug to everyone. God bless you. See you. Bye.